Becca Niederkrum. We are DallasFortWorth.com, and today's question is McKinney, Texas in a tornado alley? If you've been here recently, you were here for the October tornadoes, which is a really, really rare thing because tornado season is typically in the spring. So it's typically in April, it's in May, maybe even a little bit of June, but definitely not in the fall. And this past year, we had about 10 tornadoes touch down all over the Metroplex and inside of Dallas proper. Also, just a couple years ago, I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, a huge tornado that hit Rowlett and the Garland area, and that was December. That was the day after Christmas. I remember that because I was traveling up I-45 and we had to pull over on the side of the road. It was so dark, we had no idea how close we were to the tornado, but the tornado had passed over the highway just one exit north of where we were. So if you are like me, tornadoes are the absolute scariest storm because there's very little time to prepare or to know that they're coming. Now, if you live in McKinney, if you live in Plano, if you live in Dallas, any of the surrounding cities, they have siren systems, and these siren systems are really helpful. They'll let you know if it's a tornado watch or a tornado warning. Now, let me answer the question. Is McKinney, Texas in a tornado alley? No, it's not considered tornado alley, similarly to Oklahoma, places in Tulsa, up in the flatlands of Oklahoma. So McKinney, Texas is technically not in a tornado alley. However, that does not mean that tornadoes will not touch down in McKinney. And what's really tough right now is that with the growth of our cities, with the growth of McKinney and Dallas and Plano and Frisco and Allen and Salina and Prosper, and I could go on, there's just so many more homes that could possibly be in the path of destruction for a tornado. And so destruction seems greater than ever because we have been developing more than ever. And so this is what comes with growth. And what we can do is be aware of what conditions should arise if there is a tornado and what you need to do. The first thing I do is if I know that storms are coming, I grab my phone and I am usually checking the weather because we like to be outdoors, we like to be on the trails. So I'm usually constantly connecting with my iPhone weather to see, okay, when can I go out on the trails or when is there a storm coming? And then what I also do is I pay attention to a Dallas staple, and his name is Pete Delkus. He is a weather meteorologist for, I believe it's WFAA Channel 8, and Pete Delkus is on Twitter, and he is always giving up-to-the-minute updates on the weather in Dallas, and I find this meteorologist to be so helpful, and everyone really counts on Pete Delkus in every way possible to help guide them through the storm, help ease their fears, and help guide them to safety. Okay, so I have here in this article, and I don't know, you could be on my article or you're on YouTube, and I wrote down the difference. So a tornado watch, and this is issued when the conditions are favorable for a tornado to be produced. So that's when you want to watch the sky, watch the signs. You want to have Google up because Google will alert you, be ready to listen for sirens, and make sure, the dogs, the animals, the pets are inside, and just be prepared. Now, a tornado warning, what I'm reading here, is issued when a tornado has been sighted. So the warning, a watch is you're on a lookout. You're on a lookout for this to happen. A warning is, hey, we've seen one. We've seen one, which means not only are the conditions favorable, they are absolutely 100% favorable. We've seen a tornado. This can produce more tornadoes, or this tornado can continue on a path of destruction. And so what we do in our home is that whether you're in McKinney or any other place in the Metroplex, is we find an interior closet. So there is only, for us to all fit, there's truly only one closet in our house that is both an interior closet and actually has room, because we have a game closet that has all these shelves. Then we have a coat closet that also has vacuum cleaners in it, and it's really packed, and it's just teeny tiny little coat closet. And then all the other closets are actually pretty much on external walls in the house, except for one in the guest room. Now, it's still small, but we want to do what we can for our family, and so we all gather in there. On this article, I even put a list of things that you want to have with you. Definitely keep your phones, charged up. Bring water in there with you, and a flashlight, matches, a candle, be prepared, because what I know is with this very last tornado, the 10 tornadoes that touched down in Dallas, and they touched down in areas that you would normally think they would never touch down in. Places in Preston Hollow, in Richardson, in Garland, and they were coming towards Murphy and Plano. And so this isn't typical. And what we know is that tornadoes can go anywhere they want. So although we are not considered in a tornado alley, a tornado can go anywhere it pleases, and there's not much warning. So the best we can do is, again, stay in touch with the meteorologist, watch Google, listen for the sirens, and just stay abreast of the situation, and then get yourself into safety. Get away, because this tornado, it destroyed St. Mark's School, and the school buses were turned over, and cars are just thrown around, and street signs are just pulled off and thrown. I mean, just sheets of metal hurling through the sky. And so this is so dangerous that you've got to get into a place of safety. And so this can happen in McKinney. It can happen anywhere. Go ahead and head over to We Are Dallas Fort Worth, where I talk more about this. Definitely want to hear if you've ever seen a tornado. I'd love to hear from you if you've ever seen one, or if you have tips on how to stay safe. Love to know more about those tips. Again, Becca, wearedallasfortworth.com, and don't forget to subscribe.